Hey there, friendlies. I do hope that you can hear me, and I do hope that there isn't an ad roll running because I did not bring a boron all the way to British Columbia. So, before we start, can everyone hear me? I'm hoping that's a yes. Let me see who's in the side chat. Bum, bum, bum. Canadian in the house, and he says we are 5 by 5. So, I will do part of my usual, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Housekeeping, but I will not ask for your money today because this may be a short live stream, and I don't know how long the technology is going to hold out here because I believe I'm live streaming over Wi-Fi. So what I need you guys to do is, if I buffer, let me know. Okay. So, um, the usual housekeeping. Excuse me. Welcome to the live stream, the possibly short live stream, if in fact you are watching us time shifted to next week or next month or tomorrow. Thank you. Means a lot to me to see those comments pop up in the doobly doo down below the screen. Um, if at any point tonight you really love what you're hearing, then please, by all means, hit the happy thumb. If at any point tonight you don't like what's going on, that's okay. The frowny thumb works as well. Um, I will not invite you to join the memberships because this live stream already kind of doesn't look all that great comparatively. Um, I see that my signal is low, so let me know if I start to buffer. Okay, guys? Okay. So I'm just going to go back and see who's with us. We got Grace Martin in the house. I got to take these off. I need new glasses. I can't see this close. How's it going, Grace? We got Tyler Wood Bushcraft in the house. How's it going? Tenenbaum, how's it going? Nice to see you popping in. Rob on the internet, another regular at the Tuesday night live streams. Nice to see you. Kristen Grounds, who is a member, by the way, saying hi. No, I wasn't sure if I could go live tonight. First of all, it is 7 o'clock where I am. So behind me right there, my family is having supper right now. I'm a little hungry. So um, we got David Evans in the house, also a channel member. Nice to see you. We don't have a whole lot of people watching it. I think I should have probably mentioned that I was going to possibly live stream a little late and possibly a little short tonight beforehand. Um, Kristen apparently got booted out of Discord last night after the voice trying to get back in. Did you say something wrong, Kristen? Is that say something a little naughty? Um, there's some weirdness going on with the. Hey, there's Canadian again. I just want to say hi this time instead of just he's telling me I'm 5 by 5. Um, just taking a look. Want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Everyone's just still just sort of saying hi to everyone. Now, David says he's buffering and has no video. How's everyone else doing with that? Let me know, guys. Whiskey Harbor in the house. Nice to see you. Kelly Simmons. How's it going down there? Canadian says he sees me fine. Tenenbaum says it's okay here too. Kristen is 7 where she is as well. Hey there. Fox in the house. How's it going? Tell them to bring me a plate. Yeah. They said they're gonna try to leave me some food. Darth Vader in the house. How's it going? So Cliff is here. Shawnee is here. Yeah, I'm on vacation, but I'm still here. I'm still checking in, as I scrambled, I would say. Carol is here. How's it going? Cliff, I'm a little blurry. What? Start again. I'm a little blurry anyway because I'm just using an oldish iMac camera, so I'm not using my usual setup at all. um. So, oh, hey, hike with Mike in the house. How's it going, Mister? How is it going? Um, Rob on the internet says, "Thanks for taking the time to do this while you're on vacation." I am. I like doing this though. It's. I mean, it's been a chore trying to organize it, but I like to keep in touch with my peeps. You know what I'm saying? So one thing we did. Oh, Zach Fudge in the house. Wow. So that's Fallout 76 has been down for update and server host changed from Amazon to Microsoft for 12 hours. Ah, so that's why you're hanging with us instead of playing. I still haven't played that, by the way. So uh, one thing we did today was Camille's never seen a desert before, and we're in the Okanagan, so we fixed that. We went down all the way down to Oliver, um, to the Okanagan Indian Band has a reservation down there that kind of straddles the border, and they have a real take charge kind of chief. They've had this guy Clarence Louis for a long, long time, and he's sort of famous and infamous up here. He's sort of like if you're on Indian time, you're on loser time, and his reservation didn't go the casino route. Instead, they have a golf course and a hotel, and they have a winery, and they own like 20 businesses down there. It's a real cool, um, rich, powerful um, First Nation down there. And so what we did was we took Camille down to the Desert Cultural Center, I think it's called, and then and so we kicked around there. We shot some video. There'll be a video up as soon as I can edit it. She shot a little bit of video for herself as well because for her birthday we bought her a video camera because she's been wanting to do some video stuffs. We have her in like a video summer camp, like a day camp every summer. She loves doing it, and so she asked me for the same cameras they have at their camp, and so I did that. That was an expensive gift. So since we were down there, at that First Nation, we bought some wine. We got some really cool wines. We didn't buy an entire case. We bought like 5 or 6 bottles. This is a Riesling. We got okay, 2 of the Riesling. We got Dreamcatcher is sort of a mix of some of their white wine varietals. Delicious. We tasted before we bought, even though I mean we bought their stuff before. This Red Meritage, this was an $80 bottle, but it's worth it. It's so damn good. It's called the Miriam. The names are all in the script of the local band, right? I have no idea how any of this is pronounced. And the language here has a lot of sort of glottal stops and stuff in it. There's a Cabernet Sauvignon, which is delish. Oh, and this Syrah was expensive as hell, but man, it was so good. We bought some wine. We spent the day running around the desert. But like it's 32 degrees around here right now, so we when we got back, everyone took a nap because we were down there for a long time. We tried to go early so that it wouldn't get too hot while we were out there. And just as we sort of got to the car and took off, it started to rain, which was nice. So am I missing? I'm just gonna pop up a little bit to see who's because I don't want to miss anyone. Kristen's having vodka tonight. Oh no, she's asking if I'm having vodka. No, this is water because just in case a kid pops up, because everyone's still awake, right? So just in case a kid pops up on screen, YouTube really hates it if you're drinking alcohol and a kid is on your video. Heck with Mike can't stay long because school is starting up again tomorrow. Wow. Okay, 5:30 a.m. That's an early night. That's an early morning. Jess looks 10 years younger without his glasses, almost his college years. Yeah, except without my glasses, you can see all the wrinkles. Shawnee has a trip planned in a month to stay in an off-grid cabin up north with some women. Never been away from my kids before. That's gonna be cool, Shawnee. I like it. Which in what general geographical area is that gonna be? Is that gonna be like a Northern Ontario thing, or because I can't quite remember where you are, but I don't want exact information because we're on the internet. Um, yeah, people are saying that they hope it's a good trip, and I hope so too. That sounds amazing. Grace, surgery 10 days ago. How you doing with that? I think you mentioned you were going for surgery at one point on one of my live streams. No, these guys. In fact, this guy Clarence Louis pisses off the those chiefs you're talking about. This is a spectacular, very moneyed, very educated reservation. It's what it, it shows you what can happen if you get a guy like him in charge. The reservations around Montreal are definitely not like this one. Oh wow, okay, Shawnee, that's a whole different energy that's going to be there. That could be a very powerful trip for that woman, Shawnee. I really hope that turns into something really good. It's sad circumstances, but it could be very healing for her. I mean, everything just jumped for land's sakes. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Honeybee in the house. There ain't no news. We went to we went to a First Nations reservation today and bought some wine. Ran around in the desert, shot some video, shot a lot of video actually. Um, just brought my phone, and it's weird because I brought the GoPro with me, but I forgot to take it out of the car, I guess. So I just used my phone. Um, Shawnee, you will be able to sleep perfectly well without your kids. It's gonna be weird, probably the first night, but it can be healing to sleep without your kids as well. Let me tell you. Woo, let me tell you. And I say that as someone who is utterly sold on his children. Okay, but still, I think it's gonna be a good trip. Siri keeps popping up because I'm using these headphones. Keep wanting to say like piss off Siri. Um, but yeah, Shawnee, after the trip is done, I'm gonna love to know if that turned into sort of the healing experience that she needs. Drops family garden in the house. How's it going? David, good thing Russell has no kids. He's not here yet. Hey, how's Russell doing? I haven't heard from him in a couple of days. Well, I've been doing strange things for the past couple of days. Um, I like Cliff's words here for you, Shawnee. It'll be something new for sure, but you'll make it through it. Just try not to think about it so much and focus on the trip. Yeah, if you throw your attention at that woman who you're there to help and everything, I think you're gonna do fine. Hold on a second. Everything jumped again. Tabernouche. Yeah, well, I'm using just a built-in camera on an iMac here. Yeah, Zach, I just looked up the wildfires today because I saw that there were, I think, two on the island of Newfoundland and two wildfires in Labrador. In British Columbia right now, there are 60 wildfires going on. There's one about 20 clicks away. That the early part of today was very sunny, and then the wind shifted and the smoke from that wildfire or some wildfires drifted in, and then the clouds rolled in and it started to rain. But yeah, it's it's a heat wave here as well. It's in the 30s and 40s here. which is too bad because it's in the 30s and 40s back in Montreal, and we thought we were escaping that. We land, we get out of the plane, it's like, oh. And the airport here is like we flew in on a Q400, so it's you land on the tarmac and you get out of the plane and then you go into the airport rather than the bridge. Um, it's towards northern Minnesota, so similar climate to where I live, I think. Hey, Sean in Alaska is here. How's it going, Sean? I'm in your time zone right now, I believe. Yeah, Cliff, I'm with you. I wish I had a cabin in the woods as well, an off-grid cabin. One day, I'm gonna buy a piece of land and build one. I hope. I think that would really help my head in a big, big way. Hiker Mike says the Seminoles in Florida have some reservations in the Everglades and a huge casino in town. But yeah, around Montreal, they seem to have mostly gone the casino route or road lined with cigarette and cannabis shops. Like as soon as cannabis was legalized in Canada, like half the little cigarette shops in the I'm thinking about not Kahnawake, but Ganasatage, the one on the North Shore here. Half of the little cigarette huts turned into cannabis huts. But like, there's none of that down in the reservation I'm talking about here. There's none of that at all. Hey, Drops got engaged last week. That's a big step. That's cool. That's a big thing, man. That's a life-changing event. I mean, it leads up to a life-changing event. Nice. Congrats. Everyone's still saying hi to each other. Canadian says this time next month, the missus and I should be on a ship traversing Ireland, Scotland, Belgium, and the Netherlands. That sounds cool. You're gonna get some good whiskey over there. I like it. Jewish Redneck Prepper in the house. How's it going? Canadians pointing out I haven't seen Sean's cabin build in a while. I gotta check that out again. Everything jumped. Rats. Hold on, guys. I gotta find where I was. Oh man, everything jumped, guys. Give me a second here. Just hide the current comment. Everything jumped, and now I can't find where the hell I was. Okay, found it. Okay. Country boy trapped in the city is in the house. Nice to see you. How's it going? Sean received a message from Russell last night, so he was alive 24 hours ago. Good to know. Klingon Princess, how's it going? A long, long time ago, I knew a lot of people in the CAG, the Klingon Attack Group, at the Montreal chapter. So I'm wondering if you're a CAGer or not. And that was a long time ago. Yeah, made Klingon costumes and stuff. It was good fun to see them showing up at cons and stuff. Long's Quest, how's it going? Yeah. They're pretty far north. I mean, well, no, they're not in this province. They're all over the place, right? There's some way up north. There's some down south. I mean, I'm currently sitting at the bottom of the Okanagan, right? I'm like a half hour from the U.S. border, and there's one about 20 clicks away from here. So, I mean, BC is burning. BC burns every year. It's just that's the new normal. Sean in Alaska says, "I'm in the Alaska time zone." Nancy, out. Hmm. You guys did a good job.
Okay, bye.
Oh, Okay, so you guys are 1 hour behind because here it's 7:15, 7:20. Okay, everyone's saying hi. It jumped again, so now I'm trying to figure out. Right now, yeah, I'm at 7:20 exactly. Actually, what's nice about this, and I can't do this in my time zone because at 7:20 it's like I'm right in the middle of supper time, getting the kids to bed, blah blah blah. Like the earliest I can do it is 9, but it's nice to be awake for my live stream. You know what I'm saying? Um, Sharon Q, I think I missed you. How's it going? Nice to see you. Nice to see you pop up. Um, I was just showing the missus. No, I wasn't. I was showing my dad. My dad and I talk a lot about houses because he was a carpenter for whatever 30, 40 years or something. um, and so I was telling him about the tiny houses that some of you guys have been building, and talking about the differences between the ones that get built on trailers versus the ones, I guess. Oh no, you dropped it. Oh, I can't get it. I can't get it. That was the very small human. Bye, kitty. Uh, oh, you're closer to Alberta. Okay, Alberta's got some fires too right now, don't they? Wow. Agent says they got about 4 inches of rain over the last 2 days down where he is. Nice, very nice. Joe's neon. Holy crap, Joe's neon. Everyone, I love that man. If you don't watch his stuff, you got to change that. That guitar right there, that's a I believe 68 Les Paul, gold top. Unfortunately, it's had a a pickup job done on it, so it's not original pickups. But yeah, my dad bought that a long, long time ago. Um, he's got a few guitars around here. He's got a really nice Takamine or Takamine, like one of their high end ones in the other room that he bought himself as a treat one year. Really, really good. Nice guitar, good sound. Yeah, so Sharon, I was just talking to him about your house and Linda's house earlier today. Was it yesterday? No, I think it was earlier today. Yeah. Well, hey, country boy, I'm 3 hours earlier than I would be back home. So you know, uh, Cliffs, the weather here is making me angry. Signal for your internet is trash. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. Yeah, yeah, it is a Gibson, and it's old. It's older than I am. If it had the original pickups in it, it would be worth some money. Let me tell you. Classic Gibsons are like not quite as good as classic Fenders, but they're still up there. Everyone, Cliff is going to return it. Is going to reboot his laptop to see if he gets better signal. Everyone, wish him luck. Heiko, Mike says, had my son tune up my acoustic guitar. I haven't played it in years, but a coworker is in a band and wants me to come up on stage and do a song or two. Not sure if I'm ready for it. Practice up, and you'll be ready for it. Like um, I got my bass there because next week I'm in Alberta doing 3 gigs in Alberta, about 2 gigs and then one festival show. Somebody figure out if Russell's alive. Somebody on the Discord ping him because I don't want to. I don't want to be like looking at my phone while I'm supposed to be talking to you folks. But I'm worried about that guy lately. I mean, I'm not that worried, but just want to make sure he's doing okay. But Heiko, Mike, um, you've done shows in the past, right? So it's not like you've never done it. To a certain extent, it's like riding a bike. To a certain extent, it's not, but it should be really good. The reason I'm asking you guys if I'm dropping signal at any point is because the quality of signal on my screen right here. Because on my screen I've got like a little thing telling me how many people are watching, how good my signal is, and how long I've been on. And the quality of signal here is not good. In this, oh, it just got better. So that's why I'm wondering if I'm looking okay to you guys. Um, oh, Russell's fine. Ray is visiting today. Okay, cool. All right, nice. I uh, I would love to see like the Russell and Ray show on Books Fest one day. I think that would be really cool. Those guys have a cool energy, I think, together. Just going by the way uh I was mostly a lead singer, only did a few songs on guitar. Feel I forgot how to play. Yeah, but you can pick it back up. You can pick it back up. When I was playing, like I played bass and played bass and played bass and then didn't play bass for a really long time and then got into a band again. It doesn't take that long to get it back up into shape, but you do have to sort of play a bit and get back up into shape before you go on stage. That's for sure. Absolutely. Um, while I'm here, there's a distillery nearby. There are two distilleries nearby. I'm gonna go and check them out. Those of you who are on the Discord or who watch my other channel, I'll I'll see if there's anything good. Because I mean, having a distillery doesn't mean you're making whiskey, right? Yeah, and Russell pops in to say, "Hey, Ray's here, so you're keeping him occupied." That's fine. That's good. We know you're okay, so that's all we need. Uh, I'm likely to only be going an hour tonight anyway, because I mean, with my kids and stuff still awake, I should go back to the into the fray at some point. Ray has been on Books Fest before. When Russell gets up to make another drink, Ray leans in really close to read the chat. Oh yeah, I've only seen that once, but I had totally forgotten about that. Yeah, Shawnee, right. I had forgotten about that. Yeah, and Canadian says to hike with Mike, you got to build up the calluses. Absolutely. Yeah, playing a show. Well, getting up and doing a couple of songs probably won't hurt too much, but if you play more than one or two, it can get kind of painful unless you build up them calluses. Longest Quest is asking Russell and Ray if they're working on some split phase power. I don't know if they're still hanging out with us guys, but I I would love to ask those guys a bunch of questions if ever I get ready to solarize something in my house or my garage. Um, like Russell confirmed to me that with what we pay in Quebec, the length of time it takes for me for a solar panel project on my house or my garage to pay for itself is long. But what I like the idea of solar panels the same way as I love the idea of an electric car. I like the freedom from they're slightly different. The reason I like the idea of solar on my house is I like the freedom of unhitching a little bit from Hydro Quebec's whimsy. Like if they decide to up their rates one year, like my system is probably keeping my rates pretty low, my outlay pretty low anyway, because I'll be making a lot of my own power, probably not completely. If I make too much at some point, I can sell it back to the system, blah, blah, blah. I like the idea of taking the power away from, I mean, it's a crown corporation, so I'm protected from the profit element, but I love the idea of taking some of the control away from the corporation. I'm always going to love the idea of taking control away from a corporation. And what I like about like an electric car is that I love the idea of just unhitching from the whole petroleum thing because right now why are gas prices so high? You know, Why do gas prices jump up and then trickle back down to something reasonable? I want to unhitch from all of that. I'm getting a little. I'm sort of hoving into political territory, so I'm just going to shut up about that and move on. But I would love to sort of pick Russell and Ray's brains about the solar system at some point. Uh, yeah, as David Evans says, because Quebec gets the cheapest hydro in Canada, absolutely. And in fact, it's hilarious because Hydro Quebec sells power to upstate New York and to New Brunswick, and well, all down the eastern seaboard for less than we get it here. Uh, hey, Destiny in the house. How's it going? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Heck with Mike says I want an electric lawnmower. I have one of those push mowers, the real things, but I don't have a very big lawn. I feel that if I had like a half acre or something, I might want something with a little more oomph to it. Oh, and another issue with those little real mowers is if the grass gets too high, you have to borrow someone else's mower to bring it down and then use the real mower next week. So it's an imperfect solution, that's for sure. Um, yeah, Ontario Hydro is bad. I cannot believe what Ontario um, users are being forced to pay ever since that got privatized. I'm not a communist or anything, but I think um, for certain things, a crown corporation is the way to go, and Hydro is definitely one of those. Absolutely. Shawnee, I don't have anyone lined up necessarily. I have someone I would like to get on. I totally forgot to ping them in all the work I had to do to packing and blah blah blah. But thank you for reminding me. I am taking a note to ping them. I'll take my note later. But yeah, I'm gonna ping them. Sharon says solar rules changed in May. All batteries now have to be outside the house. Is that in Ontario? Uh, yeah, look, I mean, I can see exactly why Sharon went, wants, why off grid is the way to go for so many people in that province. Look at that. 150 grand to bring it up the road? No way. There's no way. And like Hydro One, I guess, was it Hydro One you're dealing with, Sharon? Whoever it was, they're just giving away business because putting in a solar system, putting in a sun and a few planets, putting in a solar power system is not as expensive as it used to be, and it will get more affordable. So practices like that 150 grand to bring it up the road, blah blah blah. Give me a break. And what Hydro One is charging, they're just giving away the future. It's the same thing as like if cable companies would have switched to just an a la carte approach, right? So that I can choose which channels I want instead of if you want this channel, you need this whole package. We'd probably still be on cable, and a lot of our friends would be on cable. But no, they wouldn't change their business um, model. So I think I know one person who's still on cable. Everyone else cut the cable. It's logic. It's common sense. Treat the customer well, and the customer might not run. Excuse me. Shugmary? I don't even know who that is, but I'm gonna find out. I'm taking a note, okay? Like, does anyone else know who this is? I'm just taking note, and I'm also taking a note to ping the person I was thinking about. Is there anyone you guys ESA rules? We were fighting as we signed in March when there were no rules. Crawl space for us is where we want ours. Now, is that because they're afraid of batteries catching fire or something? Destiny says, I think PI gets both federal and provincial money back when installing solar. Yeah, there's a plan here as well, but I think it might only be the federal one. I'm unsure about that. Yeah, for David Evans, it was a simple install, but they didn't their cabinet isn't in the same context as Sharon's is. Yeah, okay, Sharon Q Hydra one. Yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that at all. Those guys are Satan's children for sure. I'm just taking a look, and they lost the three of us building. Yeah, so it's what I'm saying. If they're going to be charging that kind of money, that's just a money grab. There's no way it would cost that much. Look, it's expensive to run cable, right? You need to have the staff and blah blah blah. I get it, but that seems way way. Oh, I'm out of water. That seems way out of line. Um, oh, I see. Okay, in most provinces, you have to choose either the federal or provincial solar grants. I did not know that. Okay, good to know. Canadians Generalink should be there in 2 weeks. I'm sure it's going to be good when that arrives. Um, yeah, Country Boy, I've been looking at a lot of EcoFlow products. They have come a long way in a short time with battery packs and controllers. That is true. That is absolutely true. Um, Destiny says, "A local doctor sells his solar back to the grid. Very profitable." Well, yeah, and that's the thing. It used to be that you couldn't do that in Quebec, but then they changed because they didn't want to be giving away the business, right? But that has changed. Now you can sell back. But I mean, that's not why. Look, yeah, we have a swimming pool. We're not going to be selling a lot of power back to the grid. But if we can drop our bill down and just not care if they pump it up another 2% next year or something, as I said, it's not a logical thing. It's the freedom of being free from a corporation, even if it's a crown corporation. Um, it's just I like that idea. I like that feeling. But also, what Destiny is pointing to, I think, in a lot of cases, the way to go is to have both solar and wind, because let's face it, you don't always have the sun on, but you also don't always have the wind on either. You know, my house does get some wind. I saw years and years ago there was a company that instead of doing the fan style turbine, it was like a little helix. So even in the lightest of breeze, it would roll and create some power. But they went under because everyone trying new stuff goes under, right? But that was going to make it because what that means is you don't need a big gust of wind to turn a fan, like a big honking fan. It also means that this little helix is making more power at a slow turn than a fan would. It's a long time since this company was around, so I'm unsure if I'm remembering it correct. If I'm remembering like parts of this correctly, but just give me a second here, folks. I am definitely reacting to something growing in this province. Where was I? Destiny also likes the freedom part. Yeah, that's really what it is for me. I mean, I know that it doesn't make economic sense, but I still love the idea. Heard it takes quite a few years to make it profitable after the price of buying. Yeah, yeah. It's. I think if you can get it to, if your payback, if you can get your payback down to about 5 years, then it's probably worth it. I think for me, it's probably gonna be closer to like 10 years. Um, Hype Mike says, I don't like what they do in the US. They clear forests to make solar farms instead of putting them in urban areas. Yeah. Yeah. As soon as you're clearing forests to put in anything, zero sum game. Because, you're adding here and you're taking away there, right? Benefit here, um, the opposite of benefit there. Um, David Evans says you need a backup generator even with the best solar install. Yeah, my backup generator is going to be the grid. Like, I don't want to take my house off the grid. I don't think you're allowed to take your house off the grid in Quebec anyway. Um, the one nice thing about having uh, like my own like battery packs and stuff is our power goes out a lot, man. We lose power a lot, and the latest power outage knocked our fridge offline or did some damage to it. So there's a they're coming in to repair it when we get back. So I mean the idea of not having to worry about that, pure gold, absolutely gold. So like the thing is, if you're sitting in Montreal or anywhere in Quebec, the argument for solar is not the money saving. If you go into it with that as your argument, forget it. And that's what makes the whole discussion very different than in kind of any other province in Canada, right? Because you're right, we pay comparatively nothing for our solar. So that cannot be the argument at all in any way. But being on a power grid where we do lose power a lot, there it starts to look good. You know, um, I haven't seen a lot of solar panels, solar farms here in Quebec, but I've seen a lot of wind farms. A lot of wind farms, especially at the Gaspé. Like you'll see a line of hills with turbines up on there. Yeah, I will say that those grants do really make it a lot more affordable than not having those grants, though. Absolutely. Um, like, I wonder how many panels you need to power a house. Like, take out the pool, right? Forget the pool. Like, just to power a house. I wonder how many panels you need. Like, how much space you need to cover on your roof with panels. How many batteries you need. Like, you guys know that Tesla solar roof. It says that it's about the same price as installing a conventional roof, but I think they're comparing that with a metal roof, not just tar, whatever those shingles are that we all have. The tar paper or the rubber. Or what? It's not rubber. It's whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Wow, they cleared up pristine forest in Florida for a solar farm. No, that is not cool. No way. That is no good. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like you're removing a carbon sink to make a suddenly meaningless step towards zero carbon, right? I mean, a forest is a carbon sink. Unbelievable. You look at a country like Germany where they don't have the forests to remove. It's just cities where everyone's got these panels on their roof. Tell me that doesn't make more sense. Everything just jumps. Sorry guys, hold on. Let me find my spot. Let me find my place. Owns its own utilities, and now they're developing a huge solar. That's cool. Are you actually on PEI, Destiny? Don't tell me what city you're in, but if you're actually on PEI, um, it's funny because municipal politics is where the rubber hits the road in a lot of our lives, and municipal elections are where people just don't vote. Everyone votes in national, provincial, or I guess state, or blah blah blah. But so few people vote in the city elections, and that's really where the policies that impact you on a day to day basis happen. And for cities like the one that Destiny is talking about, whichever city it is, that's that's the result of having a city probably that has an engaged populace. I like that. Rob's power went out a lot over the last 9 years until he paid for a whole house generator. And I kid you not, hasn't gone out since we got it installed. Oh, wow. Whoops. Your college has solar that supports the plug-in cars. Yeah, that's cool. Where I work, we have I think six solar, six um, car charging stations. Yes, yes, country boy. Thank you. Asphalt shingles. That's what we have. Um, we're gonna have to redo our roof pretty soon, though. It's like at my age, at 50, do you? Qu'est-ce que tu fous là? My wife's being a brat. Um, like at my age, do you put in the money to throw in a metal roof that'll last you 60 years? Because look, when my wife and I are gone, they're probably just gonna sell the house, right? Like if we were in the kind of house that looks like it's going to be a generational home, then yeah, of course, spend the extra money. But so I don't know. And that's another thing. Like for a lot of this stuff, do you want to throw big money at a project where you may be living in a home by the time it would pay itself off? I'm not saying I'm going to be in a home by 60. What I'm saying is like you have to start thinking about stuff like that at a certain point. You average 18 kilowatt hours a day power consumption. That's a lot of solar. I don't remember what I am, but it's big in my house, especially because of that pool. If you have like if you have a fridge and then you've got like a beer fridge or something in the basement, like a lot of houses have the second fridge, like they moved the old fridge into the basement when they bought the new one, kind of thing. Boom, big power consumption. If you got one of those box freezers, whatever they're called, the freezer that stands on the floor and you open it like this, boom, big power consumption. Used to be that one of your biggest consumers was your TV, but I believe that's probably not as bad now that all the TVs are like this thin. Yeah, but when it was a CRT screen, that was big consumption. You also consume a lot just by how many things go to sleep instead of off, right? For the longest time, when I turned off the TV, I unplugged it. When I turned off when I was done with the microwave, I unplugged it. When I was done with, I turned off my computer, I unplugged it, and all these things because they're vampires. Excuse me. Sharon says, depends on your usage. We're going with a 12 kilowatt hour system because I'm afraid of not having enough power with our kids' usage. Generally, they say a 10 should be enough. Interesting. Go away, Siri. Every time these headphones think they hear the word Siri, there, okay. Yeah. You know, um, excuse me. I had this conversation with Russell one night, and I think my house is 17. I think we use 17 kilowatt hours. I'm not entirely sure if I remember if I'm remembering that properly though. Klingon Princess says, my brother installs solar and batteries, bought an electric vehicle, got the rebates, but he owns his property and has the capital to invest. It's been great for them. Can't do that at that. And a lot of us can't. Absolutely, a lot of us can't. And if I want to do solar and an electric car, I'm not disconnecting from the grid. Right at that point, solar just becomes a way of lowering my monthly bill. Because I've said this before, and for some reason, saying this comes across as political to some people, but it's not. Um, the wife and I have decided that our current car is our last internal combustion engine only car. Our plan for the next, from here on out is to have one electric and one plug-in hybrid or one hybrid of some sort. Because we have family that lives just too far away for just an electric car. But when we're in town, there's no reason to ever use gasoline. So that's our plan. If we were to only have one car, we would probably do a hybrid rather than electric for that reason. Oh, Destiny's not in BI. Okay. Yeah, Hike Mike knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts because you know what? Those are the elections where your school boards get affected, right? Those are well, here in Quebec. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. It's political, and I'm angry. But anyways, generally, your school boards, your police forces, your like garbage pickup. This is all municipal purview. So that's the election you got to get in on. Not telling you who to vote for, by the way, in any way. Yeah, that sounds good, Destiny. I like that. I don't know where you are, but that's a cool. The city of Westmount on the island of Montreal has its own hydro company. Sharon Q is asking Klingon Princess if they have no issues with solar and the electric car plus everything else they're powering. Yeah, I'd love to know if they're actually off grid or if they're doing a sort of a monthly, like if they're just lowering their bill. Yeah, I know you went with the metal roof. Your place is a lot smaller than our places, though. To metal roof our place is a big job. It's expensive as hell. But yeah, I am. I saw that you went with the metal roof. I would as well. In your, but, oh well, if I could afford it, I would as well for us too. Hey, Bettina's here. How's it going? Nice to see you. What time is it EST right now? Or is it EDT? Eastern Daylight Time? Whatever it is. Thank you, Siri. But I wasn't asking you. Yeah, it's way better than shingles. I'm with David here. It's way better than shingles. Yeah, okay, so they're plugged in. They're not off grid. They sell the extra power back. Nice. Coastal Pacific Northwest. It's not even that sunny here. Um, Klingon Princess. The thing is, I saw a study on this recently that all of the car batteries that have been made so far are still on the road. They've gone way past what people expected their lifespan to be. Because people were like, "You're gonna have to replace this thing every 5 years," and then they were like, "Okay, so you're gonna have to replace this thing every 10 years," and you got like 14-year batteries still running strong, not losing their power. So I think, yeah, you're right. At one point, you're gonna have to replace that battery, but it's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be as big an issue as one would think. Like you'll probably be replacing fewer batteries over the life of that car than we have thought up until now. I'm in the Pacific Northwest as well right now, but not on the coast. I'm in the interior of British Columbia. Agnes, did I say hi to you? If not, hi. Welcome to the chat. Everyone's just saying hi to each other. Hold on. Destiny. Oh my God, Bettina's here. Hello, Bettina. Yeah, it's crazy how many things pull power. I thought of this. Turn off all the lights in your home, and you just see like these little tiny LEDs everywhere, right? Little green light here, little red light there. Something might be blinking over there. In some houses, like this one, or was it there? No, it was their other house. All of the power outlets had these little lights on them. I guess to show that there was power going through them. It's like the the nightscape is completely different than it would have been like 100 years ago, where you turn off the lights and everything is dark. And what that means is that you're constantly pulling power, no matter what. Um, I think maybe with those power outlets with the lights on, I'm trying to remember. Maybe they had like a switch that you could actually turn them completely off. But it drives me nuts because it's power that's being used for nothing. It's power that's being used so that it takes less time to turn on this computer or your television. It's not power that's being used for anything. Like it doesn't enable anything that would have been impossible without that power going there. Excuse me. Everyone's just saying hi to Bettina. Yeah, good point, Hike with Mike. Unplugging stuff will save you power and lessen the chance of a lightning strike roasting your electronics. Absolutely. Yeah. Just taking a look here. Okay, so you got a surge protector to help with not roasting your electronics. Yeah, that's a good thing. What I've got under my computer is a an uninterruptible power supply, or UPS. Um, I find that's another level of protection because man, some computer not some computers hate it if you just switch them off without doing a proper shutdown, and so that just gives me the time to shut everything down before before the battery runs out. I'm just taking a look here. Everything jumped again. Um, uh, it jumped, so now I'm. Um, ah, like it. Canadian says, I've been to Italy. The Vespa is cool. Is king. They actually make an electric one of those now. I think 1051. Is it 1051? Okay. Oh yeah. So okay. So it looks like I'm probably. So I'm only on for another 4 minutes. Yeah. Sorry, I started late tonight, guys, but there was no way I could start any earlier than that. What does it say? We have some ballsy people in our city. Fire chief told council to get stuffed when they wanted to slash his budget. He did it very politically correct, but it was definitely a nice. I love it. Man, that's a budget you don't want to cut. Budgets, I think you do not ever want to cut, and yet for some reason they keep doing is like your fire department, uh, your medical, like your hospitals and stuff, and your teachers. You know, those are people you do not want pissed off. Your ambulance people, we've got like our ambulance people are on strike in Montreal right now. Unfortunately, they're or fortunately they're essential service. So for them being on strike means wearing jeans and putting stickers all over their ambulances because there's no way they can stop work. But you don't want to piss certain elements of your society off. You know, the people who run the ambulances, the people who teach our children, the people who are in charge of our health, these are important jobs, man. Keep them happy. Keep them like jazzed about doing such important work. If you want to cut people's budgets, cut the government. I don't mean like slash departments. I mean like keep prevent MPs or local prevent the politicians from voting themselves a pay rise, especially when the economy is bad. Like a pay rise should be attached to something, right? A politician should only get a pay rise if, like, I don't even know if something amazing has happened for the country. Kind of thing. But something amazing that half the country loves, the other country hates. So how do you judge that? I don't know. It's just I have a no politics rule on my channel, so let's just move on. Yeah, there's an interesting point. Destiny. My friend has lasted 42 years. The new one will probably last 10. Yeah, absolutely. That's because they they realize that planned obsolescence means that they keep in business, right? Because people keep having to buy stuff then instead of just repairing. Bettina loves BC. Watched my my video on that little river restoration they're doing here. Yeah, well, it's interesting because I was talking about this with my dad. No, with my mother and stepmom. That in the 50s, what they were thinking about was reducing flooding. They weren't thinking about fish populations. And it was a time when we viewed nature as something to be tamed and turned into a resource rather than having value in its own right. So I mean it's not surprising that they channelized a natural creek, but now here we are, like a half century later, or more than that, actually, and they're spending 30 million bucks to reverse it in certain parts of that creek. So I, I like that because it shows that, as I said in that short that Machine is talking about, how every now and again we mess something up royally, and then at some point we actually kind of put it back. So if you know, so maybe when we pave over, when we pave paradise, it's not always permanent. It usually is, but maybe it's not always permanent. Go away, Siri. um, okay, so we're at 11 p.m. in my old time zone. So I'm gonna, let's go for another 15 minutes. Okay. Uh, hold on. I'm just everything jumped, so ugh, I don't know. Hey, look who's here. How's it going? Heading home? Yeah, I'm gonna go on for another 15 minutes. I'm gonna go a little late because it's early this the hell's it? It's early in this time zone. So, you hell, Agnes just got Starlink. No cable, which is fine. Yep. And it does buffer once in a while. Um, Agnes, have you seen when Russell's live streaming? Sometimes when they're switching satellites, it buffers. Have you noticed that? It's look where I live. Starlink is a non-starter because there's no reason. But I love the fact that people who live out there or off grid or away from like the local, like the actual infrastructure, can get good internet. It's a real step in the right direction for like the rural populations because the rural populations have been so underserved by the traditional infrastructure. So it's good. I'm just sort of trying to figure out where the hell we were. Everything jumped. For land's sakes. Agnes says yes, it buffers, but not often. That's probably what's probably happening is what Russell was saying, that when it's changing satellites, sometimes there's a bit of a buffer, a bit of a pause, drops some frames. Destiny says Russell has been very quiet. I think he's busy with Ray. Yes, he did that start again. He did step in to say that he was keeping Ray occupied tonight, so he may not even be hanging with us anymore. But that's fine. Hold on. I am being called away, so I think I will shut her down here. Um, yeah, the family is getting ready to do something. So thanks for hanging out with me on this very strange little live stream. I'm glad that I got to get one in. I will try to do a live stream from Calgary next week. I have no idea what the setup is going to be there, but I will try. Um, so yeah, we're gonna shut her down here. I'm really happy that you guys jumped in with me, even though I started late. It's a short one. So good night to everyone. I hope to see you next week. Between now and then, everybody, please stay sane, stay safe, stay healthy, and be kind to one another. Should I say pea soup even though Russell's not here? Let's be a brat. Pea soup.